So first thing I want to do is read the board when I get here. Afternoon, skies quench heated bucket. Don't forget to check the ducts. See email about water, molasses, 2 pumps per handle. If muddy, please. Okay, and we're letting 4, 5, 1, and 2. So the only one we need to fill is ditch 1.
No, field 1.
Field 1 and field 6 are the only 2 we'll need to fill today.
The buckets for Boomer, because
the buckets for Boomer. Yep. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna start making food, and I'll let you say what you're gonna start doing.
All right, I am gonna do essentially a pre-sweep. So I'm gonna go measure waters, check haze, and see where everything stands with that. And by the time I get back going through that, Heather should be ready for us to start rolling out food.
All right, so when I do feed, getting a bunch of stuff out of the way, I set out all of the name tags together where the horses are located. So like, I'll set Pippa, Gia's gonna go there, Cisco's in a different field, Skylar's by himself, Milo's in a different field, Max is in a different field. One day I'll get to horses that are in the same fields. Boomer goes with Milo. Dolly goes with Gia. Jane goes with Pippa. Ali goes with Max. Bo goes with Ali and Max. Elsa. Hattie. Annie. Dover. Cisco, and then I'm going to double check that I've got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 13 minus 1 is 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so I got them all, and then I'm going to set out all the meds with their name tags. Annie, Cisco, and this helps me make sure that I get them. Max, although we're going to use that one first. Those are all, that one's trash. Dover has one in there. Skylar, if it fits, I'll put the little supplements with them too. Elsa, Pippa. Where's Pippa?
She's gonna be with Elsa.
Oh, yeah, right in front of me. All right, and now I'm ready to start making food. If it's a regular feed bag, I put the food right in the feed bag. And I'm gonna start with the horses that take the longest to eat. So I'm gonna start with the girls. Of course, if you're feeding in the afternoon, you need to start with whichever horses need to be fed first for lessons. And now I'm grouping the feed bags by field as well. I'm assuming this is James, but it's not labeled. I need to get a label on that. And I'm assuming this is Dover's, but it's also not labeled. Elsa's needs to be relabeled. Do you mind grabbing me the black fixed? I just fix it. And if you're not sure, ask. And Dover's is labeled, it's just very faint. It's really important that everything be obvious to you and to the next person. All right, Jing and Elsa. I know that's Annie. Ali. And that one is Dolly. Okay. Now, I find it easier to work when I'm more organized. All right, I'm gonna need to get a bucket for Dolly and Gia. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 15 horses to feed. So I need 4 more buckets plus 5, 6, 7 for the mesh feed bag. So I need 7 buckets.
Just went up, scraped up the hay. I'm gonna head over here, scrape this up, and then also move the hay net up to field 5.
She scraped it, taking pictures,
Yep.
getting water measurements.
Yeah, absolutely.
for?
Checking right now to see if there's any signs of mold. Quality of the hay, is everything edible? Which Patty's demonstrating everything's good. And then I'm just going to clean up what's on the ground. Not a whole lot edible on the ground over here. There was quite a bit in field too, though. I am putting all water measurements in the notes in my phone so that I don't mess anything up or confuse it.
Where are you putting it when you measure?
Right in the middle. Don't want it in a deep or shallow part because I want to make sure that I'm getting consistent measurement to everybody else. So I'm going to go ahead. The other thing I notice here, and this isn't something I'm going to fix right now, but I would definitely let Heather or Danielle know, this board doesn't belong on the ground. It does need to be fixed. But this is something that we would need to know about so that we could fix it. All of this hay is edible, and if we don't put it back in the round bale, it's going to make more mud. So we want to scoop that up and get it back into here if we can.
To just look for a big opening on the hay net and
Yeah, that, or you can put it on top.
okay.
Doesn't matter if there's dirt on it. Horses eat off the ground.
What do you not want to put back?
The hay, like we saw, so I wouldn't want to scoop up this. That's more wet and mud than hay, or something that looks like it's been peed on. But this stuff that might be just a little damp or dirty, that can go in. They're gonna eat it, especially if you put it in a hole. That's where they're gonna go first. As Elsa's demonstrating, she doesn't care. Now, a lot of this loose hay on the ground actually is coming out of them, sticking their head through holes. So you can see where I've tied a lot of them up, not to make your job harder, and so there's less hay on the ground.
You want to, while the other person is walking around getting stuff done, you want to let them know as soon as you have food ready to deliver, because you want to get food out as soon as you have it ready. Forget about Dover. I've got Field 4's food ready. We want to get them eating first. Field 4 is ready, and then when you come back, Field 5 will be ready. So we'll go ahead and get them eating while I finish making food, and then we'll get to other little things as we go. When I'm making a field of food, I'll do Boomer and Milo next, because Boomer takes the next longest amount of time to eat. I'll get his quarter scoop of fuel and 2 scoops of mash. And 1 Smart Pack. And sometimes I will put the little Smart Packs out with the name tags as well. If they have a giant smart pack like Annie or Patty, I don't usually put those out, but I forgot to do that today. I forgot to get out the little smart packs today because I have not in the routine. And then when I'm done with that horse's food, if I don't need the name tag, I put it away. So you can see how I've already started to get rid of some of the name tags of the food I've made. And then that one's ready. Then I'll do Milo. Here's Milo. 1 scoop of fuel and that's it. Easy peasy. And Milo's gone. Because I don't need his name tag. Then we'll go get him wet. And you can see Danielle is already heading out with the food for the field 4 horses. Take them all.
And she loaded up the wheelbarrow, so she's got everything.
Yep. So I'll get it wet. And I'm going to set them by group. So I've got field 5 over here. I'm going to put field 6 over here. And now they're ready for when Danielle comes back in. So she'll get field 5 next, because it's the next ready. She'll come back and get field 6. I'm gonna add a little more water to Skylar's now. I should have gotten Skylar's hay cubes ready first thing. Again, not in the routine, but because I know they take a while, I would normally get them ready, and then every time I come over to water another feed bag, I would check his hay. See if he needs more water.
So you're watering as you go. Do a field,
Yep.
water. Danielle comes and gets it.
And send out whenever she comes back.
So feed the girls. So the first thing I did was get Gia fed, took her food over, dumped it in the pen, made sure everything was cleaned out, and then allowed her in. And then I quickly did a check of her shoes and her body, make sure she didn't have any injuries. She has all her shoes. Now I'm getting ready to go out with the rest of the girls. Go ahead and give them their food. But I don't have to worry about moving Gia or feeling that off because I've already secured her while the food was out of the equation.
And you brought the stir stick with you?
I always take the stir stick with me. It's very important they get all their food, and supplements tend to sift to the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that everything is in here. And then I usually give a quick top off stir right before I take it out into the field in case anything resettled in between, especially with these guys who are getting pills and medication.
Our picky eaters.
Yeah. And I always brush it off in between. Out. Whenever I feed, I respect her dynamics to make my job easier. I know that either Patty or Annie is the boss mare in this field. They're gonna get fed before Dolly. If I feed Dolly, I'm just asking for a fight. And just making sure everything is set up and easy, so by the time I go out into that field, I'm not fuddling with this halter, feed bag, when everything is quick as I can get it. And I'm gonna put Dolly's on my shoulder first and then grab Patty's and Amy's. Taking the whip. Back, 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 back. Alright.
Don't want to feed them while they're cold.
latched on here. Ollie. Come here. Come. Once I have their feed bags on, I'm going to do a quick check for shoes, and I can see right off the bat really easy to go there. And I know all these guys have 4 shoes, but if I didn't know, I would be looking to see if they have even shoes. So horses aren't going to have 3 shoes or 1 shoe. They're going to have 2 or 4.
I'd like to interject with saying that one thing I should have done to make things go a little more efficiently is had field 1 ready to feed while she went out and fed field 4, and she could have taken all at once. My bad. Again, not in the routine. That's something I would change for the future. I'm not going to reward bad behavior by giving him his food, so when he can stand nicely, then I'll give it to him. And until then, Plus, you're fighting a losing battle if you're trying to put it on him when he's throwing a fit. So make the horse behave. If they're not behaving, don't give them food. That's a reward. They get rewarded when they behave. And if everybody does that, eventually he will be just as quiet as Boomer. When it's so wet. I tend to rinse the buckets as I go for that reason. And let's throw the water out of the muddy spot. Yeah, see, this is already hardened a little, so I'm gonna let it soak. But if you rinse it while you go, it's a lot easier. And then you don't have to scrub. Scrubbing takes time. I will take. Oh, where'd that one come from? Oh, that was stove was just the one I already rinsed, wasn't it?
Yep.
These two I'll take with me. Go ahead and put away. This is Cisco and Dover's food. So little things like that can make it take a lot less time. I've already got 2 buckets cleaned and 1 soaking and ready to be dumped when I come back. I used less buckets because I made the food in the feed bags. I still put those feed bags. I noticed that was messed up, so I fixed it. Makes it everything easier for everybody else. All right, so I'm gonna set this out here. Are you coming in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and feed Cisco. I'm gonna grab Dover on my way out. Come here, Dover. Come here. Where are you going? Didn't plan on that. Come here. Oh. Good boy. Again, I make less trips out to the ditch. Instead of taking 2 trips, 1 to get Dover, then 1 to feed Cisco, I made 1 trip. I'm putting name tags away and grabbing clean buckets to put away, and I'm going to feed Skylar.
So basically, you know you're going in a direction and you want to carry everything for that direction.
Yes. And again, like we talked about the other day, the waiting tables help with that.
Yes. Full hands in, full hands out.
Yes. I don't go anywhere empty-handed, and I try to take as much as I possibly can.
And that's Sky's food.
Yes. Nice and soupy. With the rocks. There, come here. So I'm gonna dump it in. And hold it. Grab some water from his food trough. Rinse this bucket out. Give him more. It helps to lower the water trough since he doesn't drink that much. And I got a clean bucket. 3 things at once. Not a bad idea to let me know if we are out of salt in any field. Skylar needs more salt, so I'll find a salt block somewhere, or text me and let me know. This is rather disgusting. So, since he's not using it right now, I'm just gonna dump it out. Take that in to clean it just because it's gross. So looking for things like that. This needs to come in and get cleaned. And then, again, just to follow directions, I'm going to text Danielle, just like you guys would text me about his quencher water. Skylar has about half a bucket of quencher, and it still smells okay. Alright. So I know that I'm just gonna, when I come back, bring a half a scoop of quencher with me. And I come back with this and maybe the hay cubes, if I can carry all that. So I got 3 buckets going out, and I'll come back with the rest of it. You get the date.
Yeah.
What have you done? You broke it. Why are you an idiot? And if it's empty, then leave it alone. Oh, I don't like it. That's poking in his eye. Because I'm going to feel where the dirt is better. You just get it right off. Still don't want to dump this in the muddy spot. And try and get it over there. Or even on the mat. Which is fine.
So on the mat is better than in the mud.
Yes. When you pour out large amounts of water on the ground, it erodes the ground. And it just creates nasty spots. Do a final rinse, and I'm ready to take it all back out for him. looking for the least muddy spot. Which I'm gonna put it way down here. And once again, I'm going to use his trough water to rinse it out and give him more water. I will say one thing I forgot to do when I fed my horses was check for shoes. So when I go back around, hey Danielle, I forgot to check for shoes on him. So if you'll do that when you get that, and I forgot those two, so I'll get them when I do that.
Okay, sure. I got everybody else's shoes. I checked.
Perfect.
Did you check Dover's eyes this morning?
Not yet.
Okay. I did get Elsa and Jinx, but if you
Okay.
will check Dover's.
When I move him, or when whoever moves him can check.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're gonna forget things, and that's okay. Communicate, and just make sure that stuff that's on the checklist gets done. So if you do forget it, then you gotta go back and do it. It happens. Like all of the things that we do for a reason. And it would take me a lot longer to explain all the reasons. Just know nothing is arbitrary. To be done with those fields.
Just alfalfa.
Alfalfa, you've already done. Have we done the field 1 water?
Yep. Well, I haven't filled it yet, but I've checked.
Okay, so we need to fill field 1,
Mm-hmm.
do alfalfa. Feed bags off yet?
Nice.
Okay, so we'll need to take molasses when we go.
Yep.
Um,
I've already set up the alfalfa for 1,
and 4.
4, and 5.
And
so we
5,
can
okay.
just make a swoop.
All right. Looks like Boomer's still eating, so I'm not going to bother them yet. We still need to fill field 6, and I forgot to check his feed pan. That's the only thing I forgot to do with him.
Okay. Well, I'm about to go check his water, so I can do that right now.
All right. And have you done the field 6 water yet?
I have.
Okay.
I've got all water measured. I haven't filled anything. I've got all the water measured.
Every water's measured. We need to take off feed bags, put out alfalfa, fill the 2 water troughs, and
Boomer
switch
fine.
those ponies. Granted, you guys have to text me about the molasses, but I think I respond pretty promptly most of the time, so take it with you anyway. But I have other things to do, so you're not just standing there waiting for me. Oh my goodness. This will be a feat. And you can do the field 1 water however you want. If you want to do the hose, do the hose. But if you don't want to do the hose, do a bucket. Totally up to you. Molasses. And this cannot be left up here like this. We are going to have ants in here in the summertime if we have molasses up there. She got all this ready. See if I can do all this. And if I can't, then I'll just make 2 trips, but it's still better than 4.
How full do you want it to be?
Almost overflowing.
Almost overflowing.
Yep, so it's inside. Come on! Alright, while I'm waiting for Pokies to come up, I'll come out here and do the girls. I'm not bringing the alfalfa yet, because I'm not putting the temptation out here. Ah! There you go, Zoe. You finished. I think you finished. You always finish.
So you're checking them all before you start taking them off.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they finished. If they left a little bit, it's just not as obvious. So I'm gonna just sneak it off. I probably should have. She finished. I probably should have brought an ultra feed line to. She finished. To hold the horse while I add the molasses if necessary. But those three all finished. I forgot to bring a whip, but I have other tools. I'll take a feed bag with me. But I prefer that you guys take a whip.
Okay.
Oh, you only left slow. Come here. Come here. Finish all our food in this place. Finish all our plates. Nope. Not happening today. Not you. But she left less than a handful.
Okay.
Like it was really just crumbs.
Whatever you tried to hand feed her.
Yeah, it was really like that much. I can take all that. You just drop them. Yeah, it's easier to pick them up that way. Okay, going back to the alfalfa, and we're gonna do the boys first. Because I really want to do that alfalfa, this alfalfa, that alfalfa in that order, so I'm just walking that direction one time. Now, if lessons were going on, you obviously couldn't leave this here. You could leave it, you could put it in the full area, but you also couldn't leave here. But with feed bags on, if you're careful, you can like leave it in the corner while you do the feed bag, and then go ahead and give them theirs, and then they're not going to care, and you can move on to the next field.
So
You
while
did not finish.
lessons are going on, just move everything as far into the corner.
Yeah, like, but in the corner of the field, not
Got
in
it,
the arena.
not in the
If it's
arena.
in the arena, then Skylar will go to get it. It's the only way he'll get in that corner. This one's not done. Again, I forgot which ones were the points, so that's on me. So, I should probably go back and get one. Text Danielle Bryant.
What do you want to say?
Maxwell has about half his food left.
Ready to send it?
Yes.
Okay, it's sent.
So actually, we've been waiting for the back. I'm trying to make this real time. Let me check the other two boys. Finished. Here. he's done. Oh, and Max is eating a little bit more now. So I won't add molasses because I noticed that Max has started to eat, and Danielle told me he just got his food last. So he might not have had enough time yet. So I'm gonna skip these guys and come back to them later. I'm not gonna add molasses yet. And I'll remember to bring a halter. Hey, eat. I can still take these guys. On. The field 4 and 5. Yep, thank you.
You're welcome.
Get. Hey, go! Leave him alone. I'd rather not put the alfalfa on the sand. They ingest sand. Can we call it? I'm finding a grassy spot that's not muddy. Get. Get. All I really need with them is a get, because I know if they don't listen to that, what follows is a whip. Get. I know if I dropped anything.
You're good.
I want the hay spread really far apart. One more. And I don't want it near fences or gates. This whip back to the gate. All right, let's see if Cheryl's text Danielle Bryant.
What do you want to say?
Everything is done with the girls in field lot 4.
Ready to send it?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
So I texted her just so that she knows she doesn't have to go back there. I'll waste stuff doing that. All right, those guys are occupied with their alfalfa, so they shouldn't bother me here, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Outside there, field on the other side. Oh, the wind.
Yep.
We'll check Jing first because we know she doesn't like to eat. But Alistair was here. I also, this is not something you guys would have to worry about, but I also have to grab Pippa today and move her. I'm going to take the halter and lead line when I go down there, so I can do that. I think she finished. she did. Yay! And she's got her fly mask on. Oh, you look big clean. Oh, I have to clean that one. You always do that?
That or she rinses it in the trough.
Oh my god, it's like clean. Like I think it's cleaner than when I put it on her.
Yeah, she might have rinsed it for you.
So normally you guys would just let the horse out if they're gonna be in here, but
What about checking her feed pan?
yeah, I'm checking it right now. I just wanted to get the halter out. And I'm actually gonna bring it in with me because we don't need it out here. Because the next horse out has a feed bag. Make sure when you open the gate it doesn't touch the hot wire. That will shock you, but it'll also short out the hot wire for everybody else. All right. Full hands. Very full hands, right, Pippa? Ugh. You guys are getting a new buddy.
I'm just washing out these feed bags. I use this blue bucket here and fill it up with some water so that I'm not pouring water everywhere. And then I can use the spigot from here and clean it off. And anything I dump out, I'm going to dump out over there where it's not so muddy.
Doesn't really matter whose halter you grab, unless it's a lesson horses and we're in the middle of lessons or something like that. But I grab Gia's because hers will fit on anybody. You get a little bit more though. Text Danielle Bryant.
What do you want to say?
Max ate a bit more, period. He probably has about a third of his food left.
Ready to send it? Okay, it's sent.
So, hopeful that she'll text me right back. Already got it ready. See if you like that. Is that better? Oh yeah. Good boy. Okay. Leave him alone. You go on. He chased him earlier. Go on. He's like, eat man, so we can have our alfalfa. And our new friend. You're good. You're good. Leave him alone, Bo. I think you need to pump, stir. Then it suctions back up, pump, stir. So I want to make sure everybody knows that. buckets, feed bags cleaned and put away? Yes. All horses are where they belong. Again, I go through. Field 4, they're all where they belong. Field 5, nobody's left in that back stall. Field 6, Boomer's where he needs to go. Skylar's where he needs to go. Did he go in the stall or not? Ditch 1, there were they, nobody's in the stall. Field 1, if we had to block them off, is the gate open? That's all good. All stalls and gates are closed and the hot wire on. Yes, I know, I did. Do you know the weather for today?
I don't, but I'll look it up right now.
Stalls, runs, little barn, round pen picked out.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I
did
saw
all
you did
that.
all that. And we'll just check Dovers when we put him out. Muck buckets dumped in the manure spreader.
Yep.
Verify there's enough grain, hay, supplements for the next shift. Have you already checked that? Because I did not.
Yes, I did.
Okay. All supplements and grain containers completely closed and or secured. I actually want to get another rock for Max's Actiflexes. Those buckets don't stay shut. But other than that, I closed all the supplements. I did notice that Bo's Actiflex bag was open when I used it. I would recommend, sometimes those zipper things don't stay shut very well. I'd recommend getting a bucket.
Okay.
So that's all done. Hay cleaned up.
Yes.
Any spilled grain swept. We needed the hay around there.
I
And did we bring hay?
We did
down?
not bring hay down.
Okay. Sky special water is set up. Water valves open. They will be when I'm done.
Yep, we still have to wash those.
Yep. Electric kettle, we didn't use it, so it should be filled.
I
You
already
happen to
double
know?
checked it.
Okay. Hay picked up at the bottom of the loft and around the pallets. Lights off, doors locked, we'll be doing that. Blankets on, we did not need them. What's the weather?
High of 68, feels like 74,
68.
and maximum wind gusts of 6 miles per hour.
Really? It feels a lot windier than that. 6 mile per hour
I can only tell you.
wind. We don't need to blanket the hose. He does not need to be in a special water bucket. Ice, we do not have to do that. We do not have to do extra water buckets. HK, what's today, the 20th? 3:20 a.m. We did